Welcome back, I'm Dr. Ruckus, and today we're playing Mono White in Wilds of Eldraine. Ranked Standard, trying out some of the new cards here. Definitely it's going to take a little bit to figure some of this stuff out, but I do have some thoughts to share with you. The number one card I was interested in trying is the Archon of the Wild Rose, a 4-mana 4/4 flyer. Other creatures you control that are enchanted by auras you control have base power and toughness 4/4 and have flying. Okay, so in theory, if you got a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and a 3-drop, and they're all enchanted with dinky little auras, and then you plop this guy down and they all become 4/4s, you're swinging for 12 in the air. So that's obviously the dream. The pieces are not all there yet. There aren't that many good roll cards in whites right now. It doesn't have to be a roll. It could be any kind of aura, but all the non-roll auras are pretty shitty anyway, so I wouldn't play those, but there are a couple options. So number one, we have the Spellbook Vendor, another new card from Eldraine. 2-mana 2/2 with Vigilance at the beginning of combat on your turn. You may pay 1. When you do, create a sorcerer roll token attached to a target creature you control. So 2-mana 2/2, maybe a 3-mana 3/3. Note the rolls do not stack, so you can't get any bigger than that, but you can distribute these around and obviously distribute them enough times. You get a couple guys with some enchantment auras on them, and then you can drop the Archon and swing over the air for the victory. So that's really the only good or semi-good way to get rolls in mono whites. We'll try some other colors too. There's also Return Triumphant. You don't want more than one of these max because it does not good in the curve at all. It's really a late game draw, but 2-mana sorcery, return target creature card mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Create a young hero roll token attached to it. So these are the main ways and really the only good ways to get auras out in mono whites. And again, we'll try other stuff. I could see this being a bit better in Boros. You run the 2-mana 2/2 hasty guy with a roll, and you get Monstrous Rage, the instant 1-mana pump spell puts a roll and stuff, and then maybe you can feel a little more Embercleavey, but for now, this is what we got in mono white today. We're also trying out the Werewolf Bodyguard, potential replacement for Brutal Cathar. Unlike Brutal Cathar, it has flash. It can also be sacked for 2 to gain 2 life, but it does not have the flipping back and forth a Cathar, and at least on the human side, it doesn't have the typing that goes well with mono white humans. So we'll try it out. I suspect it's probably not going to be better than the Cathar. In theory, you can get some cute flash-ins, steal the opponent's creature, maybe block their 1/1, but there aren't that many 1/1s. You try to block a Monastery Swiftspear, there's a decent chance they play with fire and pump it up anyway, so we'll see how it does, but my guess is probably not quite as good as the Cathar. We're also trying out Virtue of Loyalty, initially a 2-mana instant, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with Vigilance. Again, it's not a human, so it doesn't fit with that typing, but it is, a decent turn 2 play if you have nothing better to do. And then, of course, the 5-mana enchantment is the final best version that you're going for here at the beginning of your end step. Put a +1 encounter on each creature you control and tap those creatures. So early game, you're outclassed by every other 2-drop because you have a 2/2 that basically does nothing. And then late game, you have this card that kind of runs away with the game. In really specific scenarios, it's really in the board is stalled and you're kind of in some mirror matchup against another creature-based deck and nobody quite has profitable attacks, and you slam the Virtue of Loyalty, and then every turn your creatures get bigger and bigger and bigger until you win. So that's where it's at. I don't think you need too many. I don't think you need 4. I think this is a one of. If you draw it early, fine. You get a 2 to the deal. Hopefully it's good enough. You draw it late in the grindy matchups and you can run away with the game. But the fact that the 2, in an aggressive deck to not have your 2-drop be as optimal as it could be does hurt quite a bit. So I wouldn't craft a crazy amount. I think 1 is just fine as kind of a top end. And then lastly, we are trying out the Cheeky House Mouse. I like that word. I like the word cheeky. This is just a solid card. It's a 1-mana 2/1. If that's all it was, it definitely fits in any deck. It's an uncommon. You can craft it, get away with it. And then it's got some upside, of course, in the squeak by one white sorcery adventure. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater this turn. All right, so you sneak through some damage, kind of similar to Skrelv sneaking through damage. Probably not as good as Skrelv. It's probably not quite good enough to make a lot of decks. For a budget option, fantastic card. Compared to Skrelv and the Recruitment Officer, and then even Hopeful Initiate, it's probably not quite good enough, but still definitely going to try it out. Cute regardless. I love the name. I love the artwork. It's a nice card overall. And then, sorry, one last card is Sir Ginger the Meal Ender. 2-mana 3/1, legendary artifact creature, food knight. It has trample, hexproof, and haste as long as an opponent controls a planeswalker. Pretty sweet. If we see a large planeswalker meta, expect to have some of these guys around. 2-mana 3/1 isn't bad by itself, and if you can run through and nab some planeswalkers, that's not bad. And then also, whenever another artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on it and scry 1. Neat little extra text. Kind of only relevant if they pick off your Skrelv, right? We're not running a whole lot of artifacts, but yeah, that's what we're trying out today. If you want to support the channel, just watch the whole video to the end. Enjoy the gameplay. Let's dive right in. On the draw. All right, we got time. We'll draw into some 2 and 3 drops. Oh no, blue. All right, that's not awful. Skrelv into Thalia. Do we go for the Thalia? I don't think you run out the Thalia yet. It's so good later. So we can run the Field Mouse instead. Let it resolve. Okay, swing for 2. Okay, they definitely have something, but they let it resolve, I think. Syncopate. Interesting. Should've... I guess we couldn't play out the Foundry last turn. Okay, who's getting countered this turn? Who's better? I mean, Thalia's really good, obviously. I guess you run out the adversary here. No stick there. Alright. You want to counter this? You do? Okay. So next turn we can go for Thalia. Might even hold back Skrelv to protect it from being bounced. No stick at all. Wow, that means they don't have, that means they don't even have Fading Hope. So their hand is all land and all terrors? Or they just pass priority really quickly? I don't think they had anything there. That resolved really quickly. Moment of truth, they get to dig a little bit. Okay, I mean, that sets us up to, obviously they have a decent chance to hit a counterspell, but we can go for the Archon this turn. Essence Scatter is binned. That's a little bit scary. Maybe because they need the Djinn and they took the Djinn. Like, or they have double Essence Scatter. Okay, they're tapped out, basically. We get a little punished for attacking with Skrelv, but honestly, we get to resolve an Archon now, which isn't the worst. Definitely hold back Skrelv. Do not need the expensive card bounced. Flyer Body also isn't bad against the Djinn. They don't have to trade it. Flow of Knowledge, oh no. Okay. Great. Draw 5. Bin the Negate and an Island. And there's a cheap terror, but we can fly over the top right now. And they're completely tapped out. Return Triumphant is interesting. It does do a thing. Is the Bodyguard just better while we can, though? Probably. Especially since they binned, yeah, we definitely go Bodyguard plus Thalia here. Or Thalia. We don't really care about the ground blockers, though. Maybe it's Thalia Return Triumphant. Okay. We're prioritizing Thalia here. To not need to go to Return Triumphant first. We don't get the pump here, but this thing is now a 4/4 body. And we're moving in the air. Maybe the Bodyguard gets saved for a Djinn that can actually block our flyers. We're on the move. Opponent has 6 cards, 5 cards in hand. We have a Thalia. They don't like that. Bounce the Thalia first. I mean, we could protect this thing, but I think we want to protect the Archon more. 1 to the bottom. 4 cards left in hand. Okay, so they bounce the Archon. We Skrelv protect. They bounce it again. The adversary falls to the ground, they get the free block, and then we Bodyguard in and try to take away their blocker. I think that's the play here, which means we need 2 mana open to protect the terror. If we play Thalia first, they still can double bounce, so I think it is this. Okay, show me the double bounce. They eat it all. Wow. Down to 4. Yeah, we'll try Thalia now then. Flow of Knowledge again. We don't have enough mana to Bodyguard through the Ward 2. Not that we even need to. But that also allows us just straight up Archon here. So now we have double Archons, which keeps the adversary in the air. Not bad. 8 mana, 7 cards. What do you got? It's a Djinn to start. Okay. Moment of truth. They need March's Swirling Mist. They need to phase out the entire board through the Thalia attacks and the Djinn discount. Consider they're still digging. Skrelv can protect 1 from March's Swirling Mist, and Bodyguard can take the flying blocker, which could be enough to get there. And the scoop. All right. Nice. On the draw, we'll keep this. Okay. 1 mana, 2 1/1. Can't complain about that. Legends, maybe Esper Legends, yeah, all right. They don't have that much removal. I think it's just the vendor here. But we want to play Adeline next turn, right? So maybe it's the Benalia, because the Benalia can actually attack through the Thalia if we want. Then we can still Adeline next turn. Rafine, tapped out. Okay. Yep, just Adeline this turn. Enlist. It's a 4/2 and a Scry 2. Another Virtue of Loyalty? I don't think you need the next one. The Field Mouse is interesting. Power 3 or greater. I don't think you need that either, really, though. I think we'll go for more impactful stuff. Free block there, eat 4. Okay. Probably the adversary this coming turn, pump the entire board to the moon. Alright, they're going for the attack and draw into removal spells, enough to win the game. Bin the Denic. It's a 4/3, no blocks. Nope, you got it. Okay. Let's see if you drew into enough to stop us. A Ganjo won't be enough here. We're going to be too big for a Ganjo. If you have Go for the Throat and a Ganjo, that could be enough. Go for the Throat there. Okay. It's expensive. Okay. All right. We'll enlist. It's a free tech regardless. Tap you. Not land, and I don't think the cheeky Field Mouse either. Okay, we do have the 4/2 lifelinker, which is definitely going to matter in the counter race. Attack both. They press on. Draw a discard. Look for more removal. Kind of similar to our Scry, but a little bit better. Been Skrelv and the Gobekon. Yeah, no blocks. Take 7. Coming down to the last turns of the game. We're still expecting the Aganjo to the face. Okay, so we either see more Go for the Throat or more Aganjo this turn. I don't know that we run out the adversary into that. Thing is, we'll lose on the Crackback. So we actually, I guess we can block Thalia. Depends how many removals they have. We might just need enough blockers on the way back. So maybe no Spellbook Vendor here. I think you decline this. I think we just want extra blockers to not die on the way back. Because either have lethal or we don't. 1 more point of damage doesn't change anything. Okay. We'll try. Adeline's decent. Lethal presented, they get to Urtai Resurrected. See if they kill the adversary, I guess. Yep. Oh, this is an instant. That's interesting. I didn't realize that. Eat 5. We can now play out Adeline. Seems good. All right. We got 2 blockers. They're down to 5. Looks like they're just going to spam attack all again. I guess they have the answer already. They're trying to pump the flyer. They can't pump the... Even pumping it by 3 isn't enough. That gets 6 power. That doesn't mean game over yet. We do have to block here, though. So if they hit a removal spell, they just win. And they do. So you got it, buddy. We block here, take 9, that's game. To double removal. Unnecessary. Insult to injury. Okay, I lose. Okay. On the play with a 1-drop. That's a keep. Up against boss. Some spooky horror movie fairy sleeves. Murex into the cut down. Thalia feeling good. Demir. No land for us. Get in there for 2. Here comes the vendor. Nothing that entire turn cycle. Trespasser we can take with the bodyguard. It's gonna feel bad if they remove it. Other option is just make the Thalia a 3/2. We don't have land anyway. Okay, I guess that's what it is. And we'll scry into land then. Auto pay. Put her there. 3/2 first striker. Take the scry. Land would be good. Flip to Nightside. Fairy Fencing. X and a black. Instant. -X, -X. Okay, so they paid 3 there, or 2 there rather, to pick off Thalia. Additional -3/-3 until end of turn if you controlled a fairy as you cast the spell, which they did not. Okay, well, we kind of need to scry into more land, honestly. Or we're just going to lose here. So maybe that means we're just attacking, sadly. Extremely slow turn. Please give me a land. It's not a land. Okay. Woof. Not loving this. Yeah. No blocks. Not feeling like this is our strongest showing today. Kaito Shizuki. Alternative art. Draw. Land. Fairy. Can we hit a land this time? We can. We flip back to Dayside, which I'm not complaining about. We don't really have the ability to get through to this thing, so I guess we go another vendor here. Oh, I guess we can bodyguard, but it's phased out, so there's nothing you can do about that. I guess it is another vendor then. Yeah. I guess we can scry. Ooh, only one at a time. All right, I guess just like that then. More lands, okay. I mean, adversary is kind of necessary to get some lifelink so we don't just die. They eat it. Keep the fairy. Fairy seems to power up whatever else they're doing here. I think we will offer the trade. I mean, we are getting low on life. I don't think we need multiples of these guys anyway. Yeah, free cards every turn is pretty good. Sack a creature. 4 mana open. Flesh Scourger. Feeling like this is a non-game here. Okay. I think you need one of these 3/1s out to trade with the Flesh Scourger. Has menace though. Doesn't work that well. Leave it back to defend Kaito. Okay, well, they're vastly ahead at this point. Another potential blocker. Okay, we can nab we could nab the Flesh Scourger here. Does it die immediately? Maybe. We don't even kill Kaito if we do that. It doesn't even matter. I mean, we can attempt this. They're down to 7, though. Alright. Resolve. It's interesting. You could protect your own adversary here, and then sack it and go for the pump next turn. That's too much, though. Resolve. Decline. Okay, I think you bodyguard the Flesh Gorger then. Take 3. Hope that last spell isn't removal. They're down to 7. Yeah. Eat 3. Hope they don't have removal. We'll find out very shortly. They look at the bodyguard. I feel like that last card's going to be removal. Trade. Okay, shockingly the game isn't over yet. Opponent drops to 4. They make a Mirrex token. They really don't have anything better to do. They've drawn a lot of land. There's a small chance we win here. Down to 7, they get the free draw. They gotta have something in these cards. Liliana, okay. Definitely do not give them back the Flesh Gorger. Do anything but that. Do not give them back the 7/5. No, they wait till our turn. This does not help. We don't have any auras. Okay. I guess you go for the win here, right? I mean, you have to. You have to try. If you got it, you got it. But if you don't got it, we're going for it. Show me the win. You can't block with the 1/1. You've drawn like 10 extra cards this game. So, if you lose, you should be a little embarrassed, I think. Draw a card, lose a life. 1 blue open. They probably needed to keep 1 black open. Down to 2. Okay, yeah, we didn't deserve to win that one at all. Fairies, dude. Fairies are sick. On the play with some 2-drops, we'll keep this. Sir Ginger. Mono blue. Hey, 1-drop looks good to me. Okay. I guess you get the Ginger countered here. Swing for 2. Impulse instead. Let's it resolve. Okay. It's time for the Djinn. It's only a 1/4. I guess we get the Adeline down. This is not instant speed, sadly. Okay. That's all. Nothing gets through the 1/4 yet. Moment of Truth immediately. Been a consider. It's now a 3/4. Do nothing. We probably cheeky Field Mouse here. I suppose just on the Sir Ginger doesn't really matter. Let's it resolve. Ideally, we play more creatures out to boost Adeline up a little bit. And ideally, 1 more creature so that bouncing a creature doesn't bring Adeline's power level too low. So we'll see if they counter this. Okay. Well, so if they have 1 more... consider now. If they have 1 more bounce spell, Adeline just dies. Which is pretty unfortunate. They bend the land though, so they didn't leave anything on top. And they bounce right now. I think they could have played that better, right? We attack with Adeline, and then this can't be blocked by power 3 or greater? Or is that, did they counter that one? I can't remember. We'll attack regardless. Down to 14. We could have attacked with what? Like our, I think it would have been, at that time, a 4/4. Then they bounce the token, it goes to a 3/4, and then they just block with the Djinn. I think that's how that would have played out. Interesting. I guess you want to try that on their turn. We don't have enough mana to do everything. If we want to get through Make Disappear, we can't play Virtue of Loyalty. So we could try it now. Attacking is pretty bad, though. I think you want to do this on their turn, because then even if they bounce it, you could still replay it. I mean, the blowout's not that bad. The blowout is you lose a 1-drop or a 2-drop. It's not the end of the world. Let this resolve, so they could have the Fading Hope here and go for the blowout. Let it resolve. We'll do this now, because they're not going to have enough mana, unless they bounce right now. Their counter spells will still cost 2 instead of 1. Whereas if we attack, they bounce, they get back the thing, they block something, then they have 1 mana left over, maybe to counter the virtue after combat. So we'll do it before combat here. Okay, so we're going to attack all. I almost don't want to attack with the recruitment officer, though. I think they're just going to bounce this thing. And the recruitment officer can draw into more bodyguards. I guess we don't need more bodyguards because we have the next one. Let's just do it like this. I think they're going to Fading Hope this thing. Yep. You got it. You get to eat one. That's okay. The real question is, when do they feel confident to start attacking again? Eat you for free, down to 12. Another Djinn. They're looking very close to lethal now. Let's see if they start attacking. They just need 1 protection spell. If they don't attack here, I don't think they have it. If they do attack, I think they have the spell to protect the last Djinn. Spell Pierce, gone. And Spell Stutter? These guys are not fairies. Alright, they attack. So, they probably have game here. They probably have 1 more Fading Hope for the bodyguard. Yeah, we'd have to win this very turn, which is impossible. So that should be game. There's nothing we can do. We can't stop everything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have 1 more bounce spell or something here. I mean, we can replay it. It just doesn't matter because they still have a 12 power attacker on the way back anyway. And swing for 12 in the air, and that is that. Unless they make some weird mistake. They bounce you anyway. So we could replay it, but it's still, you know, since they did it on our turn, it won't have Summoning Sickness. There was a small chance they did it on their own turn for some reason, but we can't stop this, so that's game. That's game. We'll keep this. No 1-drops yet. Tuffy on the mono red life. Okay, no 1-drops for us. Bodyguard could come in clutch. We'll see if we can nab someone with him. Adversary. All right. They're on the move. I think we just play an adversary here. Everything dies to play with fire regardless. I think you just want to play Eldraine next turn. And we'll trade off the adversary if we can. They have no removal. Scoundrel. Okay. Yeah, let's trade. I think we take the Swift Spear. Swift Spear we could eat with the bodyguard, though. Okay. Down to 13, gain 3 life, if that matters. Adeline's not bad. I think the bodyguard's pretty big risk. They didn't show us play with fire, though. It's nice if it pays off. I mean, it's pretty risky, right? Do we just play Eldraine? A 1/4? I don't think they can get their 1/4. They didn't show us play with fire or lightning strike last turn. Raiju. Okay. We'll definitely block here. Take 4. I guess we bodyguard the Raiju. We want to do it before they enter combat on their turn. Unless you really want the extra attacker now. I think it's... I don't think it matters that much. I don't think we're going to surprise them, really. So we just get the extra little value. Spellbook Vendor's not bad either. We just have to remove the Raiju. We're going to take you. Get him with Vigilance. Up to a 3/4. And we'll trade off Adelines here. Oh god, what does this thing do? Haste. Do nothing. Archon. Interesting. Good win con with the Spellbook Vendor. Now we have a different game plan. We'll go Archon this turn and then Sorcery onto Adeline next turn. I don't want to trade anymore. They scoop. Nice. Okay, so next turn, yeah, we go Spellbook. Put the +1 on the Adeline. Comes a 4/4 flyer. Base body. I think you keep the effects. I think it's just the base power level. So I think I have to read the card. I think I think it's still a 4/4 body. I don't think it gets any bigger off the Adeline. On the play with 1-drop. No 2-drops though. We have the Return Triumphant, which is definitely a little bit awkward. Don't want it in the opening hand per se. Mono red. Chick. All right. Well, we're not protecting anyone, so we get in there. Feldon, here they come. Skrelv's pretty good here, though. Means Adeline is safe from lightning strikes. They could definitely have 2, but I think you start here. Okay, so if they attack with Feldon, it's pretty sus. They could always pick off the Skrelv, and then we'd only deal 1 damage. Which would be awkward, for sure, but I think we still go for it. I think you have to try. So yeah, they kill the Skrelv here now, and then Adeline becomes a 1/4. That's what they should do. Nope, they let the damage go through. Okay, so they have the Lightning Strike. Feels like a mistake. With Play with Fire. Now they need 2 Play with Fires to get through Skrelv. Just a Swift Spear. Okay, that was huge for us. That was big. Okay, so now we can bodyguard the flyer. Yeah, we're just gonna bodyguard the flyer here. Can do that on their turn. All right, that was big. That was a huge last turn for us. Yeah, let's see how this shakes out first. Play with Fire to the face. Okay. It's now a 2/3. All right, so we'll just take the Chick here. But this does make an Adeline a 3/4, which means it does kill the first Swift Spear. Unless they have more to pump here, which they definitely could. But we'll get rid of the flyer. So now I need to use another pump spell. Lightning Strike face. All right, you got it. They scoop. Nice. Very nice. Could have definitely gone the other way. It's a good one though. All right, thank you for staying to the end. If you enjoyed today's gameplay, please drop a like, a comment, and a subscribe. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.